Soul Doctor is a new play about the controversial father of popular Jewish music, Rabbi Shlomo Carlebach. The play chronicles Shlomo's life from his childhood escape from Nazi Germany, studying to become a rabbi in America, his unlikely friendship with songstress Nina Simone, who taught him about gospel and soul music, his becoming a rock star rabbi, performing with Bob Dylan, Jefferson Airplane, and the Grateful Dead, and his desire to reach people of all backgrounds in the free love generation.
Swaying.
Now why is that?
Ducking bullets.
Soul Doctor recently completed a run in South Florida, playing both in Miami Beach and Fort Lauderdale. We caught up with the creators and actors and some of the people who saw the play.
We're with David Schechter, who wrote the lyrics.
For
much of the music, all of the music?
For almost all of it. There are two songs which were original English lyrics that Shlomo had in his pantheon, but everything else I wrote and co-created the show with Danny Wise.
Where did the inspiration come for you?
Well, a combination of from the story and the man and his story and what he did in the world,
right,
and also from the specific songs themselves, which in the Hebrew, a lot of them are psalms, sort of inspirational psalms of David. But what we did was we decided to use his music to tell his story. Mm-hmm. So it's not translations of the Hebrew, it's moments in his life told in English using his melodies.
We're with Eric Anderson, who plays Shlomo Carlebach. Mazel tov, a wonderful performance.
Thank you.
You enjoyed it?
Oh, it's makes me a better person.
Very good. Yeah. And I know, I was struck by one scene, because we were speaking with your mother-in-law beforehand, and how you're newly married.
I am.
And so that separation exists between you and your wife right now.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's tricky.
So did that part of the musical struck you the way it struck me, talking about the separation of leaving home?
Well, it's tricky in this business because sometimes we have to go away and do shows and keep working. But fortunately, with the technology we have these days, I can still Skype with her every morning, and it's like we're having breakfast together, so that's
right.
Lovely.
A lot of people who were talking about how you channeled Shlomo very well. Where did the motivation come from?
Well, I again, with technology, it's nice that we have so much, clips of him and stuff like that, and the more that I read about him, the more that I became familiar with him, the more it just began to rub off on me, and inevitably you can't help but feel joyful by performing his material, especially by being him. It really rubs off on me, and I'm able to go home and get a good night's sleep because of it.
I love this show. I think it's absolutely beautiful, and I also think it's not just Jewish.
Right.
I mean, that whole scene where he connects with Nina Simone, and they find out that the story of persecution and slavery and genocide is so similar, and it's, I think it's the story of 20th century immigrants in America, more than just Jews.
We're with Mike Burston, who plays Shlomo's father.
Yes.
In the show.
Yeah.
You enjoy this performance?
Well, I don't know whether you know, but I joined the company 2 days ago with 24-hour notice. And tonight was the first performance. This is my third performance in the show. I jumped into it, and tonight was the first performance that I was off book. The first two shows I had to hold the text because there was no way I could learn it in 24 hours. But it's a joy to do because it's such a special story, and it's a story. It's not just a Jewish story; it's a universal story. And I knew Shlomo Carlebach. I performed with him.
Very good.
So I'm hoping this has a long, long life.
I know Liz Larson was just saying the same thing.
Yes.
That it's more than just a Jewish story.
Right. Because this man brought joy to the world, not just to Jews. And that's the difference between what he was able to accomplish. Unfortunately, he died too young. But this is a story, if you remember Jesus Christ Superstar, Lahavdil, we're not comparing. But it's that kind of prophet. He was a prophet in his own way.
Kiva Moed was giving it the Negro spiritual, was just so powerful and so uplifting.
It was. And it's I think, the prime example in the show of how, music crosses over and spirituality just crosses over, no matter what your faith is, no matter what your religion is. You just, you know, if you sing from your spirit, if you sing from your heart, you do have this power to be able to touch anyone in any, you know, in any realm and in any faith. So it's a powerful thing.
Well, I'm so happy to sit in the audience and hear the people laugh and cry and sing along, and then I'm even more thrilled to walk out into the lobby during intermission and after the show and hear everyone singing the music and talking about this part and that part. So exciting to see how people are loving the show. Most importantly, the spectrum of people. There was a gospel school that was here. There are people from the polo clubs. There are people there are school teachers. There are people from all nationalities and backgrounds, all loving the show, laughing at all the jokes equally. So there are no inside jokes. Everyone feels like insiders in this show. It's just wonderful, wonderful.
The reason why it's beautiful because it tells a story of two different lives that end up meeting together through music. And one of the things that I've discovered is music is a communicator. Is the only communicator that everybody really understands. So
the fact that it's a Jewish background play, did it intimidate you at first, or did it?
No, actually intrigued me because one of the things I always wanted to do was learn about the Jewish religion.
Very good. And you have through this musical?
Yes, I have. I've learned a whole lot.
Soul Doctor is Broadway bound, and you'll be able to see the show in other venues across the country. Visit shlomomusical.com for show dates and venues.
That's it for this edition. For more information on our show, please visit us on the web at tolifelchaim.com. I'm Lee Lazerson. Thank you very much for joining us. And to life, l'chaim.